My wife sold our family home, my late parents' legacy, for a lavish lifestyle, leaving me betrayed and furious. With debt piling up and my life unraveling, I'm consulting a lawyer to fight back and reclaim what's left of my world. Hey everyone, my name's Nolan. I'm 32 years old, and I've been sitting on this mess for a while now, trying to figure out if I'm overreacting or if I've got a legit reason to be pissed. I figured I'd dump it here on Reddit because, honestly, I need some outside perspective. This whole thing's been eating me up, and I don't even know where to start untangling it. So here's the deal. My wife, Ivy, sold our family home, the one my parents left me when they passed, because she wanted to fund this ridiculous luxury lifestyle she's been obsessed with lately. And I'm not just talking about a few fancy handbags. I mean, she's gone full on, quit her job, influencer wannabe mode. I'm still reeling from it. And I don't know if I'm the one being unreasonable here or if she's completely lost it. Let me back up a bit so you've got the full picture. Ivy and I have been married for 6 years. We met back in our mid-20s through some mutual friends at a barbecue. She was funny, sharp, and had this energy that just pulled people in. I was hooked pretty quick. I'm a pretty laid-back guy. Work as a project manager for a construction company. Decent pay, nothing flashy. Ivy used to be a nurse, and she was damn good at it. She'd come home with these wild stories about patients and coworkers, and we'd laugh about it over dinner. Back then, we were on the same page. Save up, maybe have a kid or two someday. Keep things simple. The house we lived in was perfect for that. It's this cozy 3-bedroom place my parents bought back in the 80s. They left it to me when they passed a few years ago, and it's paid off. No mortgage, nothing. It's not some mansion, but it's got a big backyard, a porch I fixed up myself, and it's in a quiet neighborhood. To me, it was home, not just a house, you know? Things started shifting about 2 years ago. Ivy got really into social media. At first, it was just her posting pics of her cooking or our dog, Max, a goofy golden retriever who's basically my best bud. I didn't mind. It was harmless. But then she started following all these influencers, people with perfect hair, designer clothes, and vacations to places I can't even pronounce. She'd show me their posts and say stuff like, "Imagine if we could live like that, Nolan. Don't you want more out of life?" I'd just shrug and say, "I'm good with what we've got." I mean, we weren't rich, but we were comfortable. I thought that was enough. Then last year, she quit her job. Out of nowhere. She came home one day and said, "I'm done with nursing. It's draining me, and I want to do something for myself." I was caught off guard, but I supported her. She'd been working crazy hours, and I figured maybe she needed a break. She said she wanted to build a brand online. I didn't really get it, but I nodded along because I didn't want to be the jerk husband who shuts down her dreams. Problem is, she didn't have a plan. She started spending money, our money, on stuff like camera equipment, lighting, and clothes she swore were investments for her content. I'd come home from work, and there'd be packages piled up by the door. I asked her once how much she'd spent, and she got all defensive, saying, "You don't understand how this works, Nolan. You have to spend money to make money." I let it slide because I didn't want to fight, but our savings started taking a hit. Here's where it gets messy. Ivy's brand wasn't making any money. She'd get a few likes, maybe a couple hundred followers, but nothing that justified the spending. I tried talking to her about it, gently, because she's got a temper when she feels cornered. I'd say stuff like, "Hey, maybe we should slow down on the shopping until this picks up?" She'd snap back with, "You don't believe in me. You want me to be miserable forever." It turned into this cycle where I'd bring it up, she'd get mad, and I'd back off. Meanwhile, she started hanging out with this new friend, Sienna, who's basically the poster child for everything Ivy wanted to be. Sienna's 28, single, and lives in this swanky apartment downtown. She's always posting about brunches and trips, and I'm pretty sure she's got some rich ex footing the bill because there's no way her freelance styling gig pays for all that. Ivy ate it up. Suddenly, our house wasn't good enough anymore. She'd complain about how dated it was, how the kitchen wasn't Instagram-worthy, how we deserved better. I should have seen the red flags, but I didn't. About 6 months ago, Ivy started dropping hints about moving. She'd say, "If we sold this place, we could get something modern, something that fits us." I shut it down every time. I told her flat out, "This house isn't just an asset, it's my family's. I'm not selling it." She'd roll her eyes and drop it, or so I thought. Turns out, she was working behind my back. See, the house was in both our names. My parents left it to me, but when we got married, we added Ivy to the deed because it felt like the married couple thing to do. Dumb move, I know, but I trusted her. 3 months ago, I came home from work, and there's a sold sign in the front yard. I thought it was a mistake, maybe some realtor screwed up. I walked inside, and Ivy's sitting there with this smug look, sipping wine like nothing's wrong. I asked her what the hell was going on, and she goes, "I sold the house, Nolan. We're moving up in the world." I lost it. I yelled, "You did what?" "This is my house, our house. You can't just sell it." She fired back, "It's in my name too, and I'm tired of living like we're stuck in the past. I already found us a condo downtown. It's gorgeous, you'll love it." I couldn't even process it. She'd gone behind my back, hired a realtor, and sold the place for way less than it was worth because she wanted quick cash. The money's already gone. Most of it spent on a down payment for this overpriced condo I never agreed to, plus a bunch of new furniture and clothes she needed for her new life. I was furious, but it gets worse. Turns out, Sienna was in on it. Ivy admitted Sienna convinced her this was a smart move and even hooked her up with the realtor. I confronted Sienna about it one night when she came over. Ivy invited her like everything was fine. I said, "Did you seriously tell my wife to sell our house?" Sienna just smirked and said, "Ivy deserves better than this dump. You should thank me for pushing her to level up." I told her to get out, and Ivy freaked, saying I was embarrassing her in front of her friend. That night, we had the biggest fight we've ever had. She accused me of holding her back, said I was boring and cheap, and that she couldn't stand living my small little life anymore. I told her she'd betrayed me, that the house wasn't just a thing she could trade in for a Birkin bag. She stormed out and stayed with Sienna for a couple days. Since then, things have been a nightmare. We're stuck in this condo I hate. It's all glass and chrome, no soul, and the neighbors complain if Max barks once. Ivy's still blowing cash on her brand, but now she's got no job and no house money left to fall back on. I found out she's been racking up credit card debt in both our names, and I'm terrified I'm going to be on the hook for it. I've been sleeping on the couch because I can't even look at her without getting mad. She acts like I'm the bad guy for not supporting her vision. Last week, she told me I need to get over it because the house is gone and there's no going back. She even had the nerve to say my parents would have wanted us to live our best lives with the money. That hit me hard. My dad built the shelves in that house with his own hands. My mom planted the garden out back. It wasn't just a house. It was them, and she threw it away. There's more to it, too. My brother, Jasper, got wind of this and flipped out. He's 35, lives a couple hours away, and he's always been the protective type. He called me up and said, "Nolan, what the hell? How could you let her sell Mom and Dad's place?" I tried to explain I didn't let her, that she did it behind my back, but he's still pissed. He thinks I should have controlled her better, which is ridiculous because I'm not her keeper. Jasper's been texting me nonstop, saying I need to divorce her and sue her for the money, but I don't even know if that's possible. He came over last weekend, and it turned into a whole thing. Ivy and Jasper got into a screaming match. He called her a selfish gold digger, and she called him a judgmental loser. I just sat there, feeling like my life's falling apart. On top of that, Ivy's mom, my mother-in-law, has been calling me, begging me to work it out with Ivy. She's this sweet lady who thinks marriage is forever, no matter what. She keeps saying, "Ivy's just lost right now. She needs you to guide her." But I don't know how to guide someone who won't even admit they screwed up. I feel like I'm drowning here. I miss my house. I miss my old life. I miss the Ivy who used to laugh at my dumb jokes over takeout. Not this version who cares more about her follower count than me. I've been thinking about leaving, but it's not that simple. We've got joint accounts, debt, and 6 years together. Plus, Max, I'm not leaving him with her. She'd probably forget to feed him while she's busy posing for pics. I've talked to a lawyer friend off the record, and he says I might have a shot at proving she acted in bad faith with the sale, but it'd be a long, ugly fight. I don't even know if I've got the energy for that. Part of me wants to just walk away and start over, but another part feels like I'd be giving up too easy. So, Reddit, I'm at a loss. I keep going over it in my head. Did I miss something? Could I have stopped this? Ivy's acting like I'm the problem for not jumping on board with her new life, but I feel like she ripped everything I cared about away from me. Am I being unreasonable for holding on to this? Am I the one at fault for not seeing her for who she's become sooner? I just need some clarity, because right now, I don't even recognize my own life anymore.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our daily updates.